Hey guys, it's the Tesla Ho. So after about a month of owning the Cybertruck, specifically the Cyber Beast, I kind of have some things that I would change, or some things that I think Tesla overlooked that I'm not particularly happy about. One of the first things I noticed when driving it home and driving it myself was when you parked the Cybertruck into the garage, it's a tight fit. It's a tight fit pretty much for everyone unless you're a mega millionaire with a giant garage, but usually it's kind of a tight fit in the garage. This normally would be fine with any other Tesla because it's got all these things where it tells you how many feet away it is from what's in front of it. It's got all these sensors. It's got beeping telling you if you're too close, it'll beep a little bit. If it's like, hey, you're getting close, and then it'll have a stronger beep, like beep. If it's like, okay, you're getting really close here, you really need to be careful. The Cybertruck has none of that. Zero, nothing. You don't know if you're a millimeter from something or 2 feet. Usually you've got all these safety features set up. You've got none of that with the Cybertruck. With a Cybertruck, the only thing you have is the cameras surrounding the Cybertruck, and then they've also got this special front camera. And that is like the only reason you can park this thing anywhere, because it is impossible to park it without it. Which I don't like, because then you're super reliant on one camera, the front camera, and if that just decides to not work, you're SOL. Like, you can't park anywhere. It is so hard to see over the front of that big long dashboard. Like, you can't see anything. And it'll have lines telling you where the truck will end up based on like where you're turning. That's very, very helpful. When you're parking it into a garage, it's a really tight fit. You're gonna need to be within like a few inches of the wall. At least that's how it is with any standard garage. You need to get really close up because the Cybertruck's kind of big. And there's no way to know. I mean, you can see on the camera, okay, I'm really close to the wall here. I'm hitting the accelerator. I don't know how much further I can go. And you're kind of looking for like, okay, are we talking like 19 inches, 48 inches? Like, you kind of just want an idea, 3 inches, and there's nothing. My first time parking the Cybertruck in the garage, I had to get out of the Cybertruck about 4 or 5 times, check the front and be like, oh, okay, I do have more room. It kind of looks like I was about to hit it in the camera. So I got back in the Cybertruck, inched it forward, and this is another issue that I'll bring up later, but there is an issue with me inching it forward too. This truck is so powerful. You gotta be so like, anything is just like, it'll just send it, which is awesome. But not when trying to park it into a tiny little garage. That's my one issue. And I'm hoping, I'm pretty confident that Tesla will be able to implement this in the future. I think they kind of rushed production. A few things got missed. That's okay. I'm fine admitting that. People try to really rub that in. I'm fine admitting that Tesla kind of rushed things. Some quality issues I've noticed. Honestly, every car has this, but with Tesla in particular, I just remember they couldn't stop talking about how perfect it needed to be. Everything needed to be within 1/4 of an inch. And that's definitely not the case right now, but it's okay. I knew what I was getting into getting this Cybertruck. I knew there would be issues. That's not what I'm saying here. But that is the first thing I noticed. I wish there were more safety features implemented into the Cybertruck. Another thing to add, they don't have forward collision warning, no autopilot, none of that. This is a little frustrating because the Cyber Beast comes with FSD for free. We don't even have autopilot. So it's kind of like, all right, we paid for this, why aren't we getting it? It's a little frustrating. We're also promised the light bar. We also promised the rim covers. We don't have that. That's very frustrating. I'm just trying to patiently wait here, but it's kind of like, dude, we paid for all of this. Why don't we have it? Second thing I noticed about this Cybertruck that I was like, whoa, I would change this. And it might be because of my size. I'm just gonna preface with that. So don't come at me going, oh, mine's fine. I am very, very tiny. So this is just something I ran into. So if you are tiny also, then pay attention here. The pedal is obviously so different from any other car. And any other regular car, including any other Tesla. So it comes down like this. Imagine this is like the pedal, bear with me here. And your foot kind of goes like this, and it just presses the accelerator. And that is how you go. Very easy, right? With the Cybertruck, the pedal is like this, and your foot is like this. My foot is very tiny. I'm about a 5.5 or 6. My foot is so small. So you've got this pedal here, right? And it's on this like little hinge. So I put my foot down as I regularly would, like you put your heel down on the ground and then you kind of try to press. Thing is, my foot is so small, it can't reach the top of the pedal. It only reaches like the middle. So then I'm pushing and it's like it is, I'm having to move my foot up manually. So now I'm having to use more muscle to kind of be more precise with the pedal, because you can be more precise at the top. When you're pressing from like the bottom or the middle, it's gonna be really jerky and it's really hard to do, and you're accelerating, and it makes you a really bad driver, and it makes you look like you're a bad driver because you're like lurching. I'm running into that so much with the Cybertruck. It looks cool, but it does not naturally come to me to do this, and I keep forgetting, and then over time my foot will kind of start to slide down. I'll be like, whoa, why is the Cybertruck jerking so much? And it's because my foot had moved down and now I'm pressing from the middle or the bottom again. This is very frustrating, and I keep saying this. I tweeted this the other day. I said, it's becoming very clear that the Cybertruck is not made for tiny people. It's just, you can tell that a 6'4" man, Elon, was the only one kind of being like, oh yeah, this is great. Oh yeah, this works great. Like, a tiny woman or a tiny person did not test this for them. So I kind of wish they would have all kinds of demographics tested with this car, because I keep running into other issues with my Teslas regarding height and size as well. The pedal is just totally made wrong if you're tiny. This is another tiny person issue. I wish that the Cybertruck seat went higher. I'm really short. I'm about 5'2", and my legs are very long. So I don't have much torso with my height. I'm kind of, taking a turn to drive the Cybertruck, and I'm making the seat go all the way up so I can like see over this huge dashboard, and it just stops going. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've reached the top. I would get a booster seat, but then my feet can't reach the pedals. So it's just really complicated. That's one thing I would change about the Cybertruck. I wish that the seat went up a little bit higher. That's just something I have issues with. I don't think this is a giant deal, but I know there's other women out there who are 5'2" who are gonna be driving this thing, and I'm gonna represent. I'm gonna represent the tiny people. We need the seat to go up a little bit higher. Another thing about the Cybertruck that I kind of wished we would have had is the stainless steel on this truck. Oh my gosh, it's so complicated. I cannot tell you how many hours I've watched of YouTube videos of people trying to figure out how to clean this thing, because it's not stainless steel. It's like a certain metal. Like, everyone's got their own opinion of what the Cybertruck metal is made of, because it's not just straight stainless steel, because everyone has tried stainless steel cleaners on it and like ruined it. I wish that the Cybertruck came already coated, if that makes sense. I wish that it wasn't so susceptible to things in its environment. It gets dirty so fast, fingerprints. I wish they had figured out some kind of coating that doesn't affect the look to go on it. I'm not a super nerdy car person, so I'm sure there's a name for what I'm trying to talk about, but I wish Tesla would have figured that out before delivering it. I feel like they kind of left it up to us to figure out how to clean it and how to do whatever with it. And if you do something wrong, they'll void your warranty. So you're just like scared to do anything, but you want to take care of this thing, but they're kind of sus on what they say is allowed. And it's just, no one knows anything. And I feel like Tesla's kind of just waiting for someone to do something that doesn't work. And they'll go, oh, well, your warranty's voided because it ruined that. Like, I don't know. I just wish they would have figured that out. There was a wrap someone got when they first got the Cybertruck that looked totally fine. It looked just like the Cybertruck, except it kept fingerprints from staying on there. And I wish Tesla would have at least offered something like that. They just kind of threw us to the wolves here. I didn't like that. It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, kind of made it feel rushed, especially with how much they want to void warranty. Trust me, oh my gosh, like anything wrong with the Cybertruck, they're like, we want a photo. And it's like, okay, well, there's like scratches everywhere. Well, we want a photo of every single scratch. And we're like, oh, okay. Like, they do not want to cover things if they don't have to. And I don't blame them, but whoo, kind of crazy. So this is another tiny person problem, but I have seen this implemented in other trucks. And I've used this with other trucks, and I found it very useful, and I know other people use it. I wish that the Cybertruck had a handle when you get up into it. And I wish that it had a little steppy step that came out, kind of like how the Ford F-150 trucks are. They're really cool. I used one when I was on a vacation in Hawaii, and it was just so nice to have a handle to step up into the truck and like a little stepping stool. It was just made it much easier. Now I know what you guys are gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. Just change the settings so that when your car's in park, it always lowers. You know what? I don't like the Cybertruck being super low. I think it makes the Cybertruck look a little dinky. I like the Cybertruck to always be really high. I just think it looks awesome, and I want it to stay like that all the time. I don't want it to ever be low. And it's a truck. Everyone argues on whether the Cybertruck is a real truck. Well, a lot of real trucks have the little handle and the little stepping stool. It's a very truck thing. Just add it, my goodness. If there's no handle and there's no stepping stool, and then you can't touch the truck because you don't want to leave fingerprints, you're kind of trying to jump into this thing without touching it. It's just a mess. I think this goes without saying, but the last thing I would change about the Cybertruck, or the last thing that I don't really like about the Cybertruck, is I really wish they would have quality checked these better. Now, I'm not complaining. I knew what I was getting into getting this Cybertruck, but it just seemed so obvious, these things. I went to the Cybertruck delivery event. They advertised that these Cybertrucks go down this super bright tunnel to look at any imperfections so that nothing gets missed. Yet there's these imperfections on the Cybertruck that are so obvious, so glaringly obvious. And I'm like, why didn't they fix that? That's kind of annoying. Like, I get certain things that are just, oh, they probably didn't catch this, but it's so obvious. Some of these things are so dang obvious, and it's really frustrating that they would let certain things slide. And I know they did it on purpose. I want to give the benefit of the doubt, but with the number of things wrong, you just know that they don't care. They're just pushing things to be delivered. I'm not really complaining, but if I'm making a list on things I would change about the Cybertruck, things I don't like, that's definitely not going to go on the list of things I do like. So no, I don't like that there's so many things wrong, and I think there's a lot of anxiety right now about getting things covered and then getting your warranty voided. A lot of anxiety around that. I wish Tesla was a little more upfront and clear about it, but other than that, I love the Cybertruck. It's fantastic. I do not regret my purchase. I cannot recommend it enough. It is the coolest car out there, and it is definitely a truck. Well, that's everything. I can make a part 2 the longer I have this and notice more things come up, but those are like the most obvious things that I saw. Thanks for listening.
Give it to me like...
Test. Hey guys, it's the Tesla Ho. I did not like that. I want to sit up, but I want it to be more up.